There you go. Now you can probably hear me.
I can hear.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Murtuza.
Um, okay, let's get going. Hey, everyone. I see we have close to 220 people online on watching us. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Name is Murtuza, and as many of you know me from my famous glasses photo, I am the CEO of MyForexFunds. I'm joined by my good friend, Josh. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Murtuza. I thought you were famous from the time you gave out pizza.
Yeah, yeah, famous for her wrong reasons there. I've been called pizza boy, delivery boy. My wife still makes fun of me, but it comes with the job. It
Yeah.
was fun.
I still get told that MFF is Pizza FX.
Pizza
So,
FX, PFX. That's not a bad name. I'll look into that. So guys, yeah, it's been a while since we spoke to you. And we wanted to get back in front of you guys and hopefully make this more of a monthly thing than here and there. We have been doing a lot of work in the background. We'll take you through that today. Not only that, we have some exciting news coming up as well, which me and Josh will discuss. So, without further ado, I will go in the presentation mode. Guys, give me thumbs up if you can see the presentation popping up, so I can start. Uh, this goes to all the people watching in YouTube. VIP speaking here. Hey, VIP. Let's see if you get any thumbs up. There we go. Thanks, JB. All right, there we go. Josh, why don't you take us into today's program, and then we'll discuss as things come along.
okay. Well, we'll start with this slide: the past, present, and future. We've just passed 2 years now. I think it was July, right? That was our 2 year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
We have 160 full time staff, uh, a lot of part time too, especially on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And in just the last 4 months, not 6 months, we've made a typo there. We paid out 55, it was about 55.5 million US out to our traders.
Mm-hmm. And what does that mean for the company itself? So I've been hearing a lot of chit chat, right? About how does the company stay afloat when we're paying out so much. So can you just touch base on that just a little bit without giving away the secret sauce, obviously? But how are we still growing while paying out so much?
Um, Without giving out the secret sauce, well, it just depends on your risk strategy, right? So, as a prop firm, there are multiple ways to handle uh, the orders that come in and who's trading them and how they're traded.
Mhm.
For us, we have kind of a catch-all approach to it. We would be considered conservative, I think, with risk
Mhm.
overall. And so basically, we make as much as our traders make in terms of their trading profits. I'm not talking about the
Mhm.
demo and the live difference.
Mhm.
Um, and at worst case scenario, we're in a break even position on that
Mhm.
money. Um, really
Fair enough.
depends on the individuals as well and the groups and the market at the time because it changes almost daily how we deal with customers orders.
Of course, of course. And I mean, it's good to point out here that, on daily basis, there are days that we as a company and our traders, because when we talk about company as a whole, right, it's traders that make us, at the end of the day, it's traders trading that make us money, right? Obviously, there are other venues of revenue as well, but that's one of the biggest ones. So when we are paying out $55 million in the last 4 months, right, that just goes to show that how much we are making as well. And I wouldn't say we're making another 55 million because profit shares is around 80 on average. I think
Yeah.
70%. Right.
You could assume that we're making what the profit share amount is on that money. And that would be if someone wants to deep dive and calculate how much does MFF make. you could
Hmm.
assume that it's a good 25% of that.
Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good, and that's why we can afford the pizza lunches and all that other good stuff. Okay, moving on. I see 160 staff, right? So this was close to, I think, 100 staff about 5 6 months ago. So we're
We're talking about full-time stuff though, because
this is
we
full
have a
time.
lot of people who aren't full-time.
Ah, so I know there are a lot of contractors as well and part time staff as well, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so there we have some stuff that just work Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Um, I mean, it just where there are gaps, we try to fill them. So full time staff who we're paying every month to do an 8 hour day, 5 days a week is
Mhm.
160. I think it's a bit more than 160, but let's say 160.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. This is good. So this is where we are currently, guys. And I know a lot of you ask us how we are making money and where we stand. So the company is actually still in a growth phase. We have come out of the hyper growth phase where we were growing really rapidly, and so we have gone into a more of a growth phase where we are experiencing growth still in a good sense, but not crazy that we saw in the last year and a half. We'll move on to the second slide. Um, so I take pride in saying this, and I know to my core that we are one of the top two prop firms out there, right? And without naming the other one, obviously they've been around for a long time. Competition is obviously good, but here we have to be very, very careful on all these new mom and pop shops that are opening up left, right, and center, right? Because people come these prop firms come, or so-called prop firms come, they're in the business for 3 to 6 months and then they disappear, right? So as a trader, and as my opinion or advice would be, do your due diligence, right? Just don't go for the shiniest or the newest star or that's out there, right? Because they're gonna give you the best rates and this and that, but 3 to 6 months down the road, they won't be there. So do your diligence. Don't lose your money. Stick with the big names out there. Again, um, you know, why am I even saying big names? That's not us, because there are other good prop firms as well. Um,
But we've always had the the idea that it's best to have everyone and not just us, right? Like if you're fully funded with us, there's no reason that you shouldn't have some of our competitors as well, right? Because you get more capital, more chance of profit, and so on and so forth.
mhm, mhm,
It's not what we're trying to say here is it's not about just working with us. There are many reputable companies out there. It's just that the market now is experiencing a bit of an oversaturation for people who are just buying a package somewhere and starting up a prop firm. You got to be careful of them because we actually deal with people who are complaining about it in our chats and in our emails as well. So do your due diligence and stick with people where at least you know that they're paying.
Yep. And where they've been paying for the last 6 months, I would say that would be the cutoff, right? Everyone, like even when we started, right, the first 6 8 months, we had really low number of traders. Again, and nothing against anyone. It's just because people were taking caution, and so should everyone out there that's looking to get into this, prop firm industry as a trader. Make sure that the company that you're joining has a reputable past of paying out without any issues. Uh, I'd like to point out second point there, the highest rating in Trustpilot with over 7,800 reviews. Josh, I know you keep a very close eye on Trustpilot. Can you walk us through just like a quick 10-second update on what that means as a company?
Well, to be fair, we're not the only company with the highest rating in the prop firm space. There's a few of us, very few, with a
Hmm.
4.9 rating. We
Hmm.
have the most reviews, which is a good claim to fame. But basically, what it means to like some people have bad experiences, and we understand that, and we address them.
Hmm.
Um, but the good is far outweighing the bad, and that's how our trust pilot is so high. And we
Got it.
take pride in it. If someone does complain on Trustpilot, we generally grab them and try and resolve it amicably.
Yep.
Some things are not resolvable, but we try our best.
And I know that for a fact that happens because sometimes Josh even comes to me and says, "Hey, Murtuza, we really need to take a look at this," right? And that just goes to shows that we started with that family first. MFF is a family, and we listen to you, and that still goes to shows that whenever you guys write something online, it actually comes up to me a lot of times, and Josh and Heather and all Danis, Yavuz, all these guys, we're working together to fix whatever issues that are left. And again, no one's perfect. I'm not saying we're perfect, but we will get there as long as we continue to grow. And you guys, as our traders, have to come back with that feedback. Like, please, 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 never stop giving us that feedback. Another good point that I would like to point out here is the point four. That we stay consistent with our rules. Josh, I don't think we have changed any rules in a while now, right?
I don't think we've ever changed any rule. We've put some specifics into some rules because there was misinterpretation, probably
Sure.
due to language barrier.
Hmm.
But the rules themselves have. Oh wait, the only thing we've done is remove rules like hedging and those kinds of things. And that was a long time ago. We haven't
That was a long
changed
time
them
ago. Yeah.
for a long
And
time.
I also remember we decreased from 10 to 5 days, right? For
Yeah,
payout. But that's a better change, not a worse change.
yeah.
So yeah, that's another thing you should, again, as traders, you should look into things, make sure that the company is consistent throughout that 6 month incubator period, right? They're not changing rules, they're not adding sneaky rules. That will go to show that they're in it for the big gain, not
Mm.
rug pull you.
Or at least if they're changing rules, it's for the better.
It's for the better, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Our traders pass rate. So because we have been making more and more money, this goes to shows that our traders are getting better and better, right, Josh?
Yes, which makes an issue with server space, but that's my issue to deal with. Um, we
Hmm.
have seen a significant difference. So if we look at the launch of evaluation, which was a year and 4 months ago, something
Hmm.
like that, it was like April, wasn't
Hmm. Hmm.
it? The way the customer base has changed is actually quite interesting. It's very cyclical. So in the beginning, you'd see like a lot of get rich quick types coming through the books. And
Okay.
when they hit live accounts, they were all in all the time. So there's a high failure rate at the live point, right? Because it's very easy to pass a challenge if you are all in, because you just have to get it right once or twice, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Once you're
Hmm.
on a live account and you have the first 30 days to trade, the probability of you losing by doing that is much higher because, if you flip a coin so many times, eventually it's going to be tails. So,
Makes
um,
sense.
we've seen most of those traders disappear from our our user base, um, which was surprising actually, because I felt that some of them were just using it as some sort of gambling platform, right?
Hmm.
But now we're starting to see a lot more sophisticated trading, a lot more controlled trading, and as such, we're seeing a lot more payouts, right? It's all coming together at the same time. So, um, if people remember, sometime in November, December, I did statistics. The
Hmm.
stats are way better than they were back then.
That's amazing. And I think we should do another one of those as an article, right? Where we currently stand.
Yep. So we're actually trying to automate it.
Oh,
Um,
very nice. Okay.
we're trying to automate it to produce them every month. There's certain data that we shouldn't show to our rivals,
Hmm.
but we will figure it out. But it is like, just from the VIP program itself, like there's over 200 people as VIPs right now. So that means that they've got at least five payouts and they're not trading all in. So the,
which is amazing.
the
Which is
number
amazing.
is fairly high.
Okay. Okay. We'll move on. All right. The past, present, and future continues, right? So, as you guys know, all right, we have actually been first to do a lot of things, right? You're the first to come out with our accelerator program. Well, let's read it off here. So, first to pay traders in both evaluation phases. This is one of the items that no one talks about. We talk about it here and there, but this is a big item, right? Because you're actually, our traders are getting paid to do the evaluation, to do the challenges from the word go. As long as you pass them, or you pass phase one, you go into phase two. When you pass phase two, you get it for phase one. And then when you pass phase two, go into live, and you get your payout, you get your refund, and you get your phase two payout. So it's a lot of like ways to giving back to our traders that we have came up with. And other companies are starting to look at us and say, hey, wow, these guys are doing it, so we should too. Which again works for advantage for the traders.
Right.
Decrease targets, increase DD limits. Sorry, Josh, you were going to say something.
Just on the bonuses, I mean, we pay out seven figures a month in bonuses just for people passing evaluation phases. So,
Wow.
I mean, there's millions of dollars a year going out in people just for passing their evaluation.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And not to count all the refunds that we do as well, right?
Yeah.
um New and improved analytics portal. Want to talk about that, Josh?
The current one or the upcoming one?
I
which
would
which one?
say so it says new and improved. So I'm assuming that we'll talk about the upcoming one. Just very
Right.
briefly, tell us why would it be better?
Um. Well, it'll be quicker, less bugs,
Okay.
more a more close connection to the trading server. So like your overall analytics will be much better. It will connect to affiliate portals as well, so affiliates can enjoy those benefits, and um, it's just much better.
Fair enough. Fair
In
enough.
every way you can think of.
Not to say that the current one isn't good. I mean, it does the job, and it's a lot better than our previous one. But we're always trying to improve, and a lot of you have came up to us and given us suggestions to how to improve the portal itself. So obviously, we're taking that under consideration and giving you a better portal, hopefully soon. More languages. So this is something big, and I think I was reading one of the comments as well. Not a lot of people's We are a worldwide company, right? And understand that there are parts of the world where English isn't a dominant language, right? So what we have done is we're coming up with these translations. Not only that, we have taken it actually a step further, and we're hiring people from those regions to support you guys. uh Josh, want to add up to that?
So our rule on that is if we have a person who can speak the language in our team, we then
Hmm.
release the language on the site, right?
Very cool.
So we have the site translated in 15 languages or something already.
Okay.
And we've gone about hiring for those languages. We do have some staff for languages that aren't on the site yet, such as
Okay.
French. We have French speaking staff.
Very
Um,
nice.
but we haven't put French on the site yet. It's mostly because at the moment, the person who speaks, people who speak French, were hired as English speakers, and we've got to try and replace that slot and then
Mm,
move them to
move
French
them to this
speaking.
French,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. Can you tell us upcoming next two or three languages that we may be releasing other than French, I would say, or French included?
Uh, French is one of them. Italian's another. We have both Chinese languages. Um, I think we already have Bahasa Indonesia up at the moment. Vietnamese, Thai. I mean, we have most of the major languages that is spoken by our user base.
Got it. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, we'll move on. So I don't know if you guys remember, we the first time I actually came on the camera and we talked about competition. I I was always I'm always looking forward to a good competition, right? And that's how you get better. And that's how the traders get the best conditions, right? If there's a monopoly over a certain thing, then, then good luck to you. In Canada, there's a monopoly over food services, and we pay crazy amount of money for something that costs 10 times cheaper in States. Um, uh, a lot of people won't get that analogy, and apologies for that. But what I say here, or why I'm saying this, is challenge growth, challenges, and competition, they all go hand to hand with each other, right? So on the left side you can see the experience good and fair. So there's obviously other companies, other prop firms out there that Josh said are good, they're fair, they pay out, and they have a record of paying everyone every month. But I would actually like to highlight the right one. And again, I get a lot of DMs. Our staff gets a lot of DMs saying, "Hey, this company ripped us off. They never paid us. Can you give us a free challenge?" Right? And you know, if it's one or two, it makes sense. But this is turning into like a big phenomena where we're getting lots and lots of complaints about other companies. Unfortunately, we are not associated with them. And I would say this now, and we'll talk about this afterwards as well. We don't have any white labels, right? So even though you'll hear my Forex funds sort of names, because people are trying to copy us, right? So there'll be something Forex funds, or there would be my Forex something, right? We are not affiliated with anyone. They may copy our style, they may copy our verbiage, but we're not affiliated with anyone. Um, so, Josh, just quickly, we already talked about this, but on the right side, when it says greedy, not fair to traders, companies, how can one avoid them? Or what are some of those things that one should look at, red flags, so to speak?
I think the most obvious is how someone is marketing themselves. So, at least in my day, I'm getting old now, but in my day, professionalism is like the key part, right? And professionalism in business is usually about highlighting your uh, good sides and not focusing on the competition by name, right? So if one of the things that sort of grinds my gears a little bit is when someone makes an advertisement or a marketing campaign that is saying negative things about a competitor, right? To me, that shows that that prop firm probably is not going to be around too long, because that's the tactic that you have to go to in order to get the business, right? When
Hmm.
ultimately your conditions, your service, you know, everything that is good about prop itself is what you should be marketing, and not slagging off the competitors, which we see it quite a lot now, and we
Hmm.
see it on Instagram too. Is like uh, social media is very big for the prop space, and you see someone's affiliate will say something nasty about someone, and then after that drop an affiliate link to another company. And it's like, well, that's not really marketing, is it? That's just being dirty. And I would say that anyone who partakes in those kinds of practices, they don't have a long shelf life.
Got
um,
it.
and that's usually the first thing you see, because you'll hear about a firm either in a Telegram group or on Instagram or on a forum or Facebook or something like that. And how is that firm being marketed? Another one I saw recently was, use this firm because you can arbitrage their
Ooh.
challenge, right? And it's like, okay, if someone's able to arbitrage the evaluation stages of a prop firm, then that
Hmm.
prop firm likely will go bankrupt very, very quickly, because arbitrage is not real trading. That's it's imaginary, right? So things like that. If you hear about groups of arbitrages going to a certain firm, you're probably best to avoid that firm. There's many others to choose from, and you don't have to choose us. Choose whoever, but just pay close attention to how things are being marketed.
100%. That's why you will never see us attack another firm. Actually, we talk good about other firms. Like there are other good firms. There have been some that have been around more than us. So obviously, I would suggest that you guys try those guys out. Obviously, if you're funded with us, you're the best. Just kidding. Well, kind of are. But let's talk about retention, trader retention, right? So I've seen that once a trader joins us, and we'll talk about that in VIP as well. They tend to stick with us for a really long time. Not only that, they're also bringing in a lot of their friends and family and people they know to us, right? Which
Mm.
is in turn growing our company, getting us better traders, helping us pay those big payouts as they trade. Want to talk about that a little bit more, Josh? The trader retention part as well as the growth part there a little bit.
Yeah, so it's nice. Like retention, we have great retention. Even if someone has received a payout, they probably will buy another evaluation unless they're already maxed out. Like that's almost a given.
Hmm.
Um, but also the ones who have traded on live, made a payout, or even a little bit, just got their refund, and then even lost the account, they'll jump
Hmm.
back into it and stick with us. um I look at the friends and family thing as a little bit of a double-edged sword. It's kind of nice to have that come in, but you want to be sure that people who are taking evaluations know what they're doing. Like, you don't want to sort of lure people who don't have a clue what they're getting into the business. It's not what we're about, and I don't recommend it. If you have friends and family who trade, or they're doing a course or something, and you say this is how they can get more capital, and they choose on their
Hmm.
own will to participate, that's great.
Okay. Cool. Very nice. Very nice. And yeah, that's another important point that you make, Josh, right? So we are always looking for experienced traders, right? If you are thinking about joining, I would suggest that you open a demo account with one of the brokerage firms. Do your strategy, trade for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it takes for you to become profitable, and then come to us, right? Uh, Opening a free demo account doesn't cost anything, and it lets you practice over and over again rather than you coming trying trading for the first time with us or with anyone or that goes with prop firm. uh I don't suggest or I don't recommend you know trying trading for the first time with a prop firm. Go open up accounts with brokerage firms. They have a lot of demo accounts. We can even open one with us, which we'll get into a little later on. There's some good news on that front. But I will go on to the next slide. Aha.
Oh dear.
Slippage. Oh dear. Yes, there we go. All right. Since you're the slippage expert, I'll let you take the slide.
Yeah, it's a hard conversation to have, and we had this discussion before this presentation.
Hmm.
It's a very hard discussion to have because some people benefit from it and some people don't, right? So using CPI data as is the most common time that there's slippage, is when the inflation data comes out.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
have paid out six people in the last month over $100,000 each when they traded the CPI data, right?
Hmm.
So the general complaint about slippage is that slippage is manipulation. That's the first complaint. But if it was
Hmm.
manipulation, then I mean, wouldn't you go after the guys who are making 100K from it? Well, not not the other guys. Like it's kind of this weird thing where, because you can't really see it, people don't think it's there, and it's unfortunate because slippage occurs when a news announcement or high volatility event. So maybe, if you remember, during the days of Trump, people would have slippage when
Someone
he
would
would
tweet.
come out
Yeah.
and tweet. And
Yep.
you know, the way that it works is, at any given time, people are buying and selling. So they stack limit orders on both sides of the market. The
Hmm.
difference between the two best prices is the spread, right?
Hmm.
When news comes, all of those orders on both sides of the market, they disappear. So there's no one to fill your orders, and then price discovery occurs, and you find the price after the news event is where the market believes that's a fair price, and they start stacking the orders again. and liquidity returns to the market. So slippage is basically just price discovery.
Hmm. And there's
Unfortunately, sorry,
uh,
go ahead.
just a quick question. So there's positive slippage as well, right? So there are people that benefit from it as well, right?
Yeah, so we've had people actually post publicly that they've had positive slippage with us. I know of
Okay.
at least three recently who did. Positive slippage, though, is usually smaller than negative slippage, and it's mostly due to latency. So the time it takes to execute an order on MetaTrader uh, is the reason generally for positive slippage.
Got it.
So if you hit, if your take profit is hit, then it converts to a market order, and the market's moved further by the time, it's usually like 150 or 300 milliseconds,
Got
and
it.
that's how you get positive slippage.
Got it.
It's rare to get positive slippage for no good reason unless the market gaps. So if the
Hmm.
market gaps, then yeah, you can get it.
Okay.
Um, but mostly it's latency. So the market's moving very quickly, and by the time you execute, the market's already gone off, so you get a better price. Um, and it's kind of the same for negative slippage, right? Is you're the other way, except with negative slippage, you're going against the liquidity, so you're not hitting the deeper. So the positive side of slippage, you're hitting the deeper liquidity, so it's more likely to execute closer to your price. Whereas on the
Got it.
negative, you're going against the liquidity, where there's less liquidity. Um,
Okay. Let
it's
me ask you this,
pretty.
Josh. So the prop firms that have no slippage or less slippage, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, we are sending these orders to LPs, liquidity providers, and as you told the traders and our viewers,
What's
their
even the
prop
demos,
firms
right? We mock up the order
we
book in the
mock up,
demos too,
but
right?
there are firms out there that have zero slippage or magic spreads, right? What's
Mm.
going on there? The magic
Uh,
spreads, or are they
every,
not
every, every,
executing, or
every,
are they? Yeah.
everyone will be different. I'm not going to accuse
Okay.
anyone of
Of
anything.
course. No, no, not naming the
Um,
names.
so there's multiple ways. One is you could increase your trading cost, right? So for every order that happens on the trading server, they're charging more,
Okay.
and that makes up the difference, right? So you can
Okay.
do that. You can still execute orders, but you can make up the difference by charging a lot more every single trade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you probably would make even more, right? Because every single trade, most volume is outside of the slippage events. So
That's true.
um,
Okay.
the other way is just the server settings, right? You could set up MetaTrader to be instant execution, and it sort of guarantees it. There's no order book behind it. It
There's no
it
order
just
book behind
it
it.
it really depends.
Okay.
Like I can't comment. I trade at multiple prop firms
Mm-hmm.
myself, so uh, I know what you're talking about. It's just I don't know what they're doing specifically.
Okay.
But one of the ones that it's a popular one that I personally am funded at.
Mm-hmm.
They recently switched their server setting, so now it was no slippage, and now it is pretty bad
Okay.
slippage actually. So uh, I would say that now it's a fair market price. It's not. It is bad, but it's not. Outside the realms of normal.
Normal. Okay. Fair enough. So slippage is normal, obviously.
Yeah.
And guys, a lot of you may think that Josh and Murtuza are sitting there, looking at every single trader, every single like 50,000 traders that we have, and slipping you guys. Oh, this guy's doing it. Let's slip him. That is not what happens in the background, right? It happens as Josh described from the source of the order rather than us pushing buttons and whatnot.
So
Um,
one other thing is like on some FX pairs,
mhm.
uh, two of our liquidity providers actually have a slippage cap. So they're they're on majors, right? So the major pairs, but
Mhm.
they will actually cover any excess slippage. There's still slippage, but it's like within a parameter, right? They
Sure.
say to us, we're not going to slip you more than this. Anything more than that, they're kind of guaranteeing the price. They're making the market themselves, so they can choose how much it goes.
Sure.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
let's
fair
just
enough. And we're all always looking for new sources as well, right? To add, so this problem decreases. It will never go away. It's like paying taxes,
yeah.
right?
So
You
one of the other
won't like it.
issues, and as it says
Yeah,
in
go ahead.
number two, there is that traders who trade on prop firms with more capital, they trade much bigger, and the bigger you trade, the more likely you are to have slippage. That's just the facts. Like to think there's like 200 million traders around the world, and there's a price, and it has a certain amount of volume attached to it. It is a little
Hmm.
bit naive to think that you're going to be the fastest guy to get that price, right? And the bigger you are, the harder it is to get it. So, um, obviously, within reason, there are points where you go, "Hey, that's not really cool." Like, and sometimes we've refunded part of slippage, like if it's gone way too far.
Hmm.
That's not an incentive for everyone to go and message our chat agents asking for slippage refunds. We generally catch it before they come to us,
Hmm.
uh, and we will know of the event from our server triggers. So we'll know, okay, it went beyond this parameter, and we will give it back some of it. And some of you may have experienced that, some probably not. But the most important thing is, if you aren't specifically trading in news announcements, stay away from news, and always be paying attention to when something is due to come out, because it mostly happens around three news events. You have the NFP, you have CPI, and you have
Hmm.
the FOMC decision. Those
Got
three
it.
events is when you got big slippage, and then of course you have localized interest rates. So the ECB or the Bank of England. So if you stay away from
Makes
that,
sense.
you won't have a problem.
And there are a lot of educated traders in our chat as well. Sir Christian Ruiz said slippage doesn't matter. Only people only complain because they overtrade, right? And what's the biggest overtrading scenario that we have seen? I know it will sound crazy, but what's the biggest lot size have you seen in the recent past?
Well, there was one yesterday that was 650 lots of US 30.
Okay. So, guys, let's put that into perspective and think about it. Someone was trading 650 lots of US 30. Yeah, crazy. Anyways, don't overtrade, don't over leverage, stick with your risk parameters. Again, you may get a little bit of slippage, but it won't be crazy. Let's move on.
Another good one.
Another good one about the EAs.
Third party
Uh,
EA specifically.
okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, EA creators, they're generally pretty good. If you can make your own EA and you have market knowledge and you're constantly changing them, they could be pretty good. But those people, they don't sell EAs. Like they just don't sell it, because once you have the edge, you don't give it away. So a lot of our support questions and a lot of complaints too
Mm-hmm.
comes from third party EAs in general. So the support questions are things like, can I use this EA? And whatever, fad EA that's currently popular.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is, yeah, of course you can use it with your own settings, because you cannot be having identical trades to someone else who might have that same EA. And we've made that very clear. If you've
Mm-hmm.
tuned it up, that's your own, abilities. If you've tuned it up nicely, that's all for you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, by all means, do it. But in our experience, 99.9% of them fail. You might pass, you might get to live, but no one long term. I don't think there's a VIP who has a third party EA. You know, that's probably the
Wow.
best measurement. I don't think there's a single VIP. So that's people with five payouts.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, you'll see a lot of people marketing past your evaluation or challenge EAs. There's a little trick to those people, and that is either they're arbing, which you'll see them jump prop firm to prop firm to prop firm as they get banned. The other is that they're using martingale. So 40% of the customers might pass the first phase, the others just don't. And so you end up with like a 60-40 mix where you have 60% of people really angry at this person and 40% of the people saying, oh, he's amazing. Uh, Generally, they're all the same. They market the same. You know, you should probably stay away from them. Obviously, it's your decision what you do with your money in your account.
Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. All right. I think Josh is having some issues,
Sorry,
and he's back.
I'm back. Yeah. Where did I leave off?
It's your issue what you do with your money.
Yeah, so that's it's up to you, but in our experience, and that's across hundreds of thousands of people who have tried to use them, they don't work.
Hmm.
It's better to put the effort into learning to trade yourself. You
Yep.
know,
And it is a long journey, guys. So don't think that, there's a lot of these YouTube and IG ads that I see saying, let us pass your challenge, let us do this. Don't get lazy about it. Do your homework, learn the skill, and then trade yourself, right? Only then you can see like consistent long-term gains. If you pawn it off to someone else, then one, you're paying additional costs. Two, there's still no guarantee that you'll make money.
yeah. The other thing about third-party EAs is you just don't know what they do, right? You don't know what's under the hood. They're locking the code. You don't know what it is. They're not doing regular updates. They're not matching market conditions, because that's the one thing about automation, is that it works if you're matching the market conditions. So the successful EA guys, what they do generally is they have an EA, it's fitted to the current market conditions, and
Hmm.
then maybe it loses its alpha. And so
Hmm.
what they then do is they take it off the account, they adjust it to match the new market conditions in order to continue with their success. Now, third party sellers, like on the MQL market, for example, they're
Hmm.
selling one EA, right? They may update it every few months, but the market changes like almost weekly. So you're not getting what is necessary to be successful as an automated trader. Um, but if you're a
Got it.
programmer and you do your own, that's great and perfect and exactly what we're looking for. If you're putting in that effort with the professionalism, you absolutely can have a lot of success.
There you go. All right. Excuse me. Move on. So benefits of MFF over others. We have been talking about competition. Obviously, we would like to say that we are better because we are in a lot of sense. So best condition, or one of the best conditions amongst prop firms out there. And as Josh said, these conditions are ever changing. We try to keep up. We try to keep updating our server settings, our LPs, just to get you more liquidity, amongst other things. um, Feedback, we discussed this earlier on as well from Trustpilot. We make sure that we take your complaints as well as your feedback really seriously and act upon it. um, a good example would be changing the 10-day rule to 5-day rule, right, of evaluation. Even though I was against it, I wanted pe- people to still be comfortable for trading for a long time. um, I was told that five
That
days
was
would be
what
a
that was when we met halfway, right? Because everyone wanted it 0 days, and
zero. Zero
we
days, yes.
sort of went, we go halfway, and then we ran the data on whether or not that would make people lose more, and it was a negative. So
Yeah,
uh, we settled there.
we settled there. And a lot of you guys are obviously new to MFF, so we saw that a lot. If there were firms before that had 0 days, that don't exist anymore because of one of many reasons. But what were traders doing were they were YOLOing, meaning they were going all in, hoping to pass that day and get their live account the second day. What an extended period does, it puts your mind at ease and tells you, hey, just take it easy, you have some time. It doesn't matter if you pass today or in 10 days, you'll still get your account in 10 days, or now it's 5 days, right? So it gives you that little bit of pushback when it comes to over leveraging, trading more than you should, risking more than you should, right? And I think that was a good decision, Josh.
Yeah, it worked out all right.
Okay.
There's still a little bit of that YOLO stuff, but not too much.
Okay. Okay. Easier to join and cost effective. Why are we easier to join, Josh?
Mm, that's a good question. I would say we're easier to join because all the due diligence is already out there. So you
Hmm.
don't have to think so much about whether or not to jump into it because
Fair enough.
you can see it right there, right? You go to our Discord or, you know, read it like you can read about us anywhere. So it doesn't take long to make a decision.
Fair enough. And then really quickly, talking about best conditions, and I see a comment saying increase the duration in phase one. A lot of people don't know this, but you can ask for extensions as well, right? So at the end of the 30-day period, if you're not there, or if you're almost there, then you can ask for 2 more weeks. And at the end of those 2 weeks, if you're still almost not there, or if you're not there, you can ask for another 2 weeks. So in essence, you can actually get up to 2 months for phase one. Again, as long as you're in profit, even a dollar profit. I've seen people, come to our chat saying, "Hey, we're 50 cents over. Can we get a extension or a retake?" And we say that's fine because that's what the
Yeah.
rules.
So I will happily stand up and say that we were the first for that because I remember when we did it. It was like 4 weeks later, a competitor knee jerk reacted to doing it as well. But we were the first to do it. Um,
To do the extensions,
extend
definitely.
extending like we have a whole bunch of stuff that we're working on at the moment. A lot of it won't be out until New Year.
Hmm.
Uh, but longer evaluations and stuff, obviously not the same kind of evaluation, but longer evaluations are something that's in the pile.
Very cool. Very cool. Best staff and support. Not counting Josh,
Bias.
obviously. But
That's
um,
that's
you know,
biased.
that's bias. Yeah. Who put this on here? I bet it was Yellows. But no, seriously, around the clock, and it's not an easy job. And I some of the chat, and our traders, please be kind to us, right? We are here to help you out, but don't tell us that you're gonna harm us, or you're gonna do something bad to our families. That just
Like
hurts,
that
man,
one
right?
today, huh?
Yeah, like that's not professional at all. And again, fair warning to people that do get angry, take a step back, go drink a glass of water or a bottle of water, and then think to yourself, hey, was it my fault or their fault? And I'm not saying it's 100% your fault always. It could be our fault. Please be nice about it, right? Don't say, again, bad things to us and our families. We are humans at the end of the day. We're trying to make a living. Our front staff is, trying to help you as much as they can, but be nice. Josh, you want to add
Yeah.
something there?
I mean, the urge to give examples is there, but like
Nah,
some
don't do
things that people
it.
say is so vile. I think
Yeah.
I think that people should ask themselves. Not it's definitely a very big. It's a minority, a very small number of people, but as the world knows, minorities tend to stand out
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
when something's negative. I mean, uh, there it,
It's okay. We
we
can
like
move on.
we ban people for
Hmm.
saying it's crossing a certain line, right? We actively ban people for crossing a certain line with how they treat our stuff because you should only treat people, and this is everything in life, the way that you want to be treated, right? So if you
Hmm.
want to be treated like that, then you can enjoy the ban hammer. Like that's the only thing I say. I want to stick up for the stuff because they do put up with a lot of awful things sometimes.
Yeah. And guys, yeah, you give respect to get respect, right? So I mean, if there is an issue and start yelling at us, then obviously that the chances of us resolving that issue goes down dramatically. But if you're nice about it, just don't even have to be nice about it. Just be human about it, right? We know you're mad. We know you're not happy. Just, you know, tell us what's going on and we'll get to it. Um, Before we dive in deeper, let's just move on. So, industry leader, people copy our names, the styles, blah blah blah. We already
Yeah,
went through this.
I have an axe to grind on that too when people copy paste the text that I wrote for the website. Like, how lazy can you be?
Yes, and those prop firms out there, if you're listening, you owe Josh a royalty check. Um, Josh at gmail.com is his email. Personalized touch. um, Okay, and let's personalized touch. We talked about it again. We're gonna try making this. We have a Discord channel. We're gonna do this more often. Obviously, there's live chat. You can talk to us. It's more of a chillax environment with us compared to some of the other firms out there.
And a lot of people might sometimes complain about the queue on chat, but that's because of the personalized touch. If we put in one of those robots that frustrates everyone, we could lower that queue dramatically. But we've opted to speak to a human, and that sometimes takes time.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Hi, what's your name? How can I help you? Yeah, we can introduce robots, but yeah, we wanted to keep it very personalized. On that note, though, we are obviously trying to hire more and more people, so the queue time goes down, and it has gone down significantly. All right, Josh.
Yeah,
I mean, we're and
yeah.
yeah,
It's only news events time that it really goes up now, and that's people checking
okay,
their violations.
fair enough. All right, moving on. The future. This is the one of my favorite topics to talk about. I will take away our faces so we can see, oh, new faces there. But let's talk about the VIP program. Josh, you were very monumental and instrumental coming up with that, along with
Yeah.
some of the other guys. Just walk us quickly through it.
So the VIP program is giving back to the loyal traders. So if you noticed in the marketplace, there's a lot of marketing and giving back to people who aren't customers yet or aren't
Hmm.
traders yet.
Hmm.
That makes sense if you want to fill up your evaluation book, but our approach has been, we already offer a pretty competitive program. We do add marketing stuff every now and then, like now we have our Halloween promotion going on.
Hmm.
uh but what about our traders who are there? Like, there's some traders who've been there since like July last year. What can we give them? So we've bumped up their percent to 90, so they
Ninety
get
percent. Wow.
90% split, and so long as they're in profit, they can withdraw anytime. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is, what time of the day it is, and they get their withdrawal. I mean, we've had some that took 15 minutes, so you can get it within 15 minutes. It's usually 3 hours, but depending on the number of them, it can be very quick. So it also gives something for people to target when they're working with us, and to not try and rush things, because once you get to that VIP level, you should settle in on your trading. You should be pretty tuned in, and you just, when you make the money, you take the money, right?
100%. 100%. So a couple of points to add to that. So we have a dedicated team, as Josh said, right? So they're always looking out for the emails coming in there, and some of them take 15 minutes, half an hour, max about 3 4 hours. So there's a dedicated team. But more importantly, in VIP program of all other programs, we want you to get paid right away. And again, I've been saying this before as well, because when you get paid, we get paid. So the more withdrawals you have, the more withdrawals we'll have, right? So uh and it's from a company's perspective, on VIP side, we take a little bit more risk on you, because we know that you're a profitable trader, so you'll end up making us more money. So just a couple of extra points there for traders. Obviously, it's good. I've seen traders do it on daily basis. A little profit here, take it out. A little profit there, take it out. And then again, there are traders that do it every other day, weekly, bi-weekly. It's totally up to you how you want to tackle that. Number two, broker's license. Whoa, what's that all about, Josh?
You should be in Hollywood, mate. Um, so we bought a license that we've been configuring. It's like 3 months ago we
Hmm.
started it. We
Yep.
now have it. It's another thing on the pile. So with the brokerage, we have a different idea on how to go about it. It's not going to be the same, cookie cutter MetaTrader 4 brokerage that you see. Right now brokers are a dime a dozen. They're pretty much all the same offering. It's just two markets the best. We're looking to do something significantly different. Um,
Okay.
so hopefully we'll have the website up sometime in the new year for that, and
Okay.
then hopefully towards the end of Q1, Q2, we'll start of Q2, we'll look to start that business going.
Amazing, amazing. And you're gonna give a little bit of hints on how we are planning on, using the synergies from one to the other, or do you want to keep that a little bit secret, a little
Yeah.
more?
So I mean, we're trying to do funding for good traders again with the brokerage, but in a different way. Again, I don't want to give away the secrets and the formulas and stuff like that, but some people they're not interested in they want funding, but they're not interested in purchasing a program or going through an evaluation. So we will look at it more. I mean, a comparison would be similar to a Darwin X kind of way, but not so much with external capital. Like they're a bit more external capital. Uh, we, we have a whole bunch of ideas. We've also got a whole bunch of different sort of the idea is to make MFF sort of a one-stop shop for kind of everything in
Hmm.
involving financial markets. So it's not just your prop trading and your brokerage. We'll look at providing investment products and other things as well.
Yes, and to all the authorities listening in, this is just in planning phase right now. We're not doing any of this. Uh,
We're not doing
we'll
anything we're
do.
not licensed to do.
There you
That's
go.
for sure. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, guys, traders, I'm gonna just repeat what Josh said. So for people that are not looking to purchase a prop firm account using our brokerage side of things, you could still qualify for a funded account, and that's as much as we would tell you for now. Without purchasing, you can still qualify, and we'll send out the details once we finalize everything. um, Affiliate platforms for all MFF projects allowing partners. So there, I believe there's a new platform coming on, right, for affiliates.
Yeah. So at first, we're doing new trader platforms and brokerage platform. We're also doing an affiliate one. So the affiliate one, because our affiliate program now is so big, the current affiliate system is a bit muddled, I guess. So our
Hmm.
idea is, since we'll have multiple brands for lack of description, if you're an affiliate for one, you'll become automatically accepted as an affiliate for all, and you can market any of our branded products in the one place and earn rewards and merch and a whole big thing. More than just here's your money, which you'll still get. We'll be giving additional stuff.
Amazing, amazing. Um, More instruments with liquidity that matches our trader base.
Yeah,
So obviously more products for traders. And Josh, yeah, since you're working on those, you can go in a
yeah.
little deeper.
Um, there's a few exotics that we're working on. A few more CFDs as well, but also more crypto.
Nice.
That's because right now we have what, four or five cryptos. It probably go to like 20, maybe. We
Very
want to
nice.
do share CFDs. I know that a lot of people want them. It's just that the liquidity is so bad, and the amount of leverage and um, size that people want to trade is like it
Insane.
doesn't match the market. And if we were to cut it back to a reasonable level, people just wouldn't trade it, or we'd have to make the spreads so extremely wide that it's just not easy to make money. So we opt just not to have them. But if I do find a way, or if there are some companies perhaps that have enough liquidity, we might add those as well.
Oh, cool. Very nice. New offices. Excuse me, Josh. Want to take this one? So I know we're opening one in Europe soon, hopefully.
In where? In Europe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Still trying. Like the problem with offices right now, and I think the situation is the same everywhere, is that fitting them, you can't find anyone to do the work to build them out. We're planning
Hmm.
to put some offices here in, I'll say, Europe for now. I'm
Okay.
currently there. I've moved out of the tri-state area.
Hmm.
Um, we've
Okay.
located a few options, but getting quotes on labor to fit them out to make the space doable is
Hmm.
becoming problematic. But hopefully, sometime next year, we can make some sort of announcement.
Okay, sounds good. And I think it will also come hand in hand with when we open up the brokerage. So an office, perhaps in the islands, we have obviously one in Canada and North America that takes care of that. We'll have one in Europe. Obviously, we have one in Asia, Australia. Maybe not anytime soon, but
No, Australia, you
never
need a
say never.
license, so you probably better
Okay,
not.
f- fair enough.
Unless
Fair
we
enough.
can find one to purchase.
Got it. Got it.
Then,
And new faces. So you guys are used to seeing new names pop up in our chats and our emails. So obviously we're always looking for good talent. Um, and one thing I'm really proud of is in the past 2 years, I would say that 90 or even more than 90% of the resources or the people that have joined our team are still with us. So and all hats to them and thanks to them for believing in the cause and helping us take this team group further. But I think it also shows that we are very fair when it comes to not only our traders but our own support staff, our family, right, Josh?
yeah, so I think at least from people I deal with in the front end and trading and everything, I think only four people have are gone.
Wow. Wow.
Um, and it's not because of conditions or anything like that. Um,
Sure.
we're always looking to hire. We're a little bit fussy about who we bring in. So the most common reason that we don't hire someone is because they have an ulterior motive to working for us. So
Hmm.
if we always accept new resumes and everything like that, Yavuz is always on the lookout, especially with the people who speak English and another language.
Hmm.
So if you are interested in working for us, get in touch, send a resume. Uh, we'll definitely be interested in taking a look. Uh, the one issue that we have is when people are, if we do some research and we find that they're signal sellers or EA sellers or something like that, then we can't have you working for us. It is a conflict of interest, uh, because you will have access to our client base, and therefore that it's too valuable to be just handing over to anyone. But the people that we have managed to find, they're all very good people. We talk daily. We kind of have this cool laid back vibe with each other,
Hmm.
and that's what I like, because it makes life not tense, right? So it's not some corporate sort of environment. We're very friendly to each other despite the high pace of our business.
Hmm. So, am I hearing that you're not working enough, Josh?
You wish.
Okay, okay. We'll talk about this after this. Um, Okay, moving on. I think this pretty much sums it up, right? So we talked about
Yeah.
where we are heading. We talked about the new portal that we're bringing in, the broker's license. So, and again, another first, right? I don't think there is another prop firm out there that has their own brokerage. Maybe there
No,
is.
but
No,
there is a brokerage that has a prop firm. It's just the conditions are a bit not competitive. So it's not that it's the first broker prop firm. It's just the first prop firm to go to
prop firm
broker.
B broker.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Um, so broker's license. We talked about the new portal that we're coming up. We may be coming up with another model as well, another program which will again blow your minds. So stay
Two,
tuned for that. Two programs. Wow.
two.
Okay. And then I'm just recapping right now, sorry guys.
Mhm.
What else? So again, if you want to work for us, especially if you speak any other languages, and you have some good support staff or support experience, always looking to hire. As Josh said, he always is always looking out for good talent on that side. Josh, anything else that I missed?
Uh, just thanks to everyone for supporting us, I guess. And since this is YouTube and Facebook, so if you want to like, subscribe, you know, I'll do the promo for the algorithm.
F- for sure, for sure. Smash that whatever button there is on here or there, wherever that button is.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's it, guys. So yeah, we'll try to do this more often now. And yeah, it was amazing talking to you all. Thank you for the support, and yeah, we'll catch you guys soon.
See you guys.
Thank you.